YouTube, what's the deal? It is your girl Jahira, and I am back. What's up, y'all? I know it's a couple of y'all that are ready to whoop my ass, and I can't blame you. I can't. Y'all got that. At times, I am ready to whoop my own ass, so who am I to begrudge you the opportunity? Let me just say, in my own defense, nobody's heard from me except my phone. Nobody has heard from me, and I mean, I took the summer off. Like, I just went off grid for a couple of months. I needed to. I needed to kind of focus and center and get a sense of clarity on a couple of things, like just in regards to my own life. I just needed to be away, and I succeeded in that. I spent about a month and a half in Chicago, actually, with two of my sisters. And then I went up to Minneapolis for, oh God, like 3 weeks. Um, and I just breathed. That's basically all I did. I enjoyed a bit of a summer romance, which ended, but was incredible nonetheless. And some of that is what I'm here to talk about tonight, or today, as the case may be. But I really hope that y'all are well. And please let me say that up front. I hope that y'all are doing fantastic. To my new subtastics who haven't even gotten a new video out of me, thank you so much. Like, thank you for jumping on the ride and rocking with me. I am beyond shocked and beyond appreciative. And I love you, and I thank you again. And it really is a good time over here because I am officially back in the swing of things. And videos will be made, reviews will be done, and shit will be talked. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna get into it right now, so hold on. Okay, so here's the thing. You know, it would be very easy to make this distinction, or this presumption, I should say, that because I live so boldly and openly. I swear I hear my daughter walking around. And if it's not my daughter, my house has been broken into and I'm going to die. So there we go. No, but like, because I live so kind of unapologetically, and I have next to no filter, and, you know, and I'm out and wah, wah, wah. Um, and I have this kind of boisterous personality, it would be very easy to assume that I sort of have a handle on all the facets of my personality, that I just know myself to this, you know, obscene degree, and have kind of got it all figured out. And truthfully, I've made this assumption about myself as well. This is not the case. Nothing could be further from the truth. And I'm kind of glad about that because, you know, I've kind of always made this joke that, you know, the moment you figure everything out is probably the moment that you're going to hit the dirt because there's nothing left to learn. And I'm glad that I'm still sort of in process and unfolding and sort of peeling back layers of the proverbial onion, if you will. But this summer, I ended up involving myself with somebody incredible. Okay, that was my daughter. Okay. I ended up involving myself with someone who's just unbelievable, like a great person, a really great person. And we had this kind of whirlwind romance, and it was great. It was really great. But here's the thing. Walking into the union with this individual, I knew in the back of my head that it wasn't going to work. And it wasn't because of anything involving them. It was simply because of me and my own standards, my own parameters that I've kind of placed around what I'm open to versus what I'm not open to. And that made things difficult on my behalf. I say difficult because I really believed that I was being closed-minded, and that if I opened myself up to an interaction with this person, because they look incredible on paper. You know what I mean? You know when you have those people that just, like, the resume was really, really good, like, career, 401k plan, goals, dreams, plans, ambitions, relationship with God, which is really kind of important to me. Not even kind of, it's very important to me. Own car, plans to own property, like everything was just, oh God, it was great except for this one thing. Now, this is something that they couldn't even control. It's just my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let me try to give you an example. Like, if you're a recovering alcoholic, I mean, this is not the best example I could possibly come up with, but I'm working on limited time, people, so just do what you can with what you got. If you're a recovering alcoholic and, your sobriety is incredibly vital to you, as it should be, and you meet this amazing person, be they male or female, who has kind of everything going for themselves and goals and ambitions and just sort of, you can check everything on your list that coincides or correlates to attributes that they have. It all looks so good. But they love the occasional glass of wine. And to the extent that it would be a stretch for them not to keep wine in the house. And you know that it's just not something you can partake in. Do you go with the 20 things that are great about them, or do you subject yourself to possibly relapsing because you're engaging in the one thing that you just can't get with? That sort of scenario was what I was dealing with. And again, it wasn't regarding drugs or alcohol or anything of that nature. But it was simply that there was one particular aspect of this individual's being that would have been exponentially difficult for me to get past. And I made the decision to do all that I could to sustain a friendship with them rather than pursuing something more. Because, when it all comes down to it, y'all, nobody knows you like you know yourself. If you're open and you're paying attention and you're cognizant of what makes you tick, nobody knows you the way that you know you. And I tried to wrap my brain around the possibility of being with them. And frankly, I would have loved to have been able to be with them. Because again, this was not something reprehensible or towards me or anything of that nature. It was purely my stuff. The things that I know are important to me, that my heart knew was important to me, even though I was, in my head trying to convince myself that I could live with it. When it all comes down to it, you've got to listen to your gut, because frankly, there's some stuff that's just not gonna rock for you. It's just not. And I found myself in this place of extreme denial, extreme dismissal of you know what I'm saying, of my own standards. To say that, what this person is about and who they are and this thing that doesn't mesh well with my spirit, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter because they're a fantastic individual and they're a great person and they've got all of this going for them and they care about me so much. I mean, to the extent that had this one thing not bothered me so much, we, I'm sure, could have built a great life together. Like, it was very deep, y'all. It was really intense. But what started as a whisper in sort of the far corners of my brain ended up being glaringly loud, dead center of my face. This is not who you are. This is not going to be okay. And really, is it fair for you to continue with this person who absolutely adores you, knowing that it's not okay by you? And so not okay by you that, like, I always use this example. You know what I'm saying? If somebody told you that you can have anything you wanted in the world, absolutely anything. You want a mansion, you want to wake up in a new Bugatti, you want a yacht, you want whatever you want in this world, you can have, except for a red pen. I mean, at first, I'm sure that you would be living in the lap of luxury. I mean, just buying this and buying that, and Tiffany's and Jacobs and Nordstrom's and whatever it is that you know what I'm saying, whatever material possession you could possibly get your hand on, knowing that you had that freedom, like, I'm sure you would just be living it up. But eventually, when all of that wears out, it's going to start hitting the back of your head, like, who does this bitch think she is, telling me I can't have a red pen? And then you'd, like, purposely go to Staples just so that you could walk past the red pens. And then it would suddenly be all you're thinking about is red pens. That's what this was for me. All I could think about was, I mean, if you want to call it focusing on the hole and not on the donut, we could do that. The only thing I was fixating on was this one glaringly obvious thing that I absolutely could not get with, rather than the sum total of all that they were. Now, under normal circumstances, I might be handing y'all some different advice, like, look at the bigger picture, see the forest for the trees. All of this might be, you know what I'm saying, applicable. But in this particular situation, when you are talking about absolutes, you know what I'm saying, everybody has room to give. You know what I'm saying? We've all got some wiggle room in us. And if it's something that, can be compromised on, then it should be. By all means, it should be. Don't fuck up your future and your blessing behind some shit that you could probably meet in the middle about. But when it comes down to absolutes, like absolutes, that which you could not spend the next 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, 20, 30 years with, that flies in the face of everything you know to be true for yourself, spare yourself and the other person the heartache and get the hell out. And that's what I had to do. That's absolutely, bar none, what had to happen, because by lying to myself about that which I could not handle, I was lying to this person. And this person, absolutely, bar none, did not deserve to be lied to, because they're a great individual. And they can't control what that thing was that wasn't working for me. There was nothing they could do about it. There was no different, way of going about fixing or changing or compromising or any of that. It couldn't happen. What they were dealing with was an absolute, and their absolute was not meshing with my absolutes. And it took me having this experience to know that this one thing is something I just can't get with. No matter how great it is in theory, no matter, how shiny or sparkly it might seem, no matter how logical it might feel, that, like, hey, the love aspect of my life could come to an end here, in terms of the looking for and the wondering about and the questioning as to whether or not, that's going to happen for me. That could have been over, but the cost I would have had to pay was far too high. At the end of the day, if I'm going to love somebody, I want it to come from a genuine place. I want it to come from the best part of who I am. Because I want my partner to come from the best part of who they are. And that's just what it is. Like, end of story. And staying in this relationship would have involved me trying to suppress the knowledge, the absolute truth that you are not who I am meant to love. And I am not who you are meant to love. Because if I was, I would absolutely be able to put 100% of myself into that. And I can't. I just can't. And so, at the risk of stretching this out for another 5, 10 years, and bringing, maybe marriage or children into a situation that's not coming from a real place, I would rather hurt you now and hurt myself now than hurt us then. You understand what I'm saying? So again, I am calling this to thine own self be true. You just got to pay attention to the cues, y'all. You do. I did. And I'm glad that I did, and I pray that a friendship will rise from the ashes of this union, because that's what I want. I mean, they're great people and worthy of my friendship. But yeah, so I'm back, and I hope I didn't lay it on y'all too thick on the strength of the fact that I'm back. But I am here, and you will be hearing so much more from me in the days and weeks to come. And I love y'all. And again, just the fact alone that you have rocked with me all this time, please don't think it goes unnoticed. Oh, quick. So I'm on Instagram now. I'll actually put all that information below, but I am on Instagram, Jahira's_mission. And I locked my Twitter. I had to, because I had this stalker individual who just proceeded to follow the YouTube, the One Love Lounge, the Instagram, the Facebook, just everything, and comment everywhere, and it wasn't conducive to my healthy well-being. It was creepy. So I locked my Twitter, and Twitter has now become my diary. So if y'all send me a request, I promise you'll make it through, no problem. And that's the place to be, to hear all my little inner thoughts. And Instagram will give you a different side of me. You know what I mean? So please feel free to follow me there. And I love you, and I thank you over and over again. I cannot thank you enough for staying with me all this time, y'all. We are 3 years into the mission. How crazy is that? So please know I appreciate you, and I will be seeing y'all very soon. And it is such a joy to be able to say again, one love.